Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of magic. This is Scarehunter, and you're listening to Scarehunter Storytime. Many scary stories to chill your bones. Tonight's story is Dr. Toothache. So turn out the lights, get cozy by the fire, and be prepared for some scares. No one likes going to the dentist. The drills, the scraping tools, even the numbing shots. For Lizzie, a normal dental checkup became anything but normal. Her dentist was only a block away, so she decided one day to walk to her appointment. She never really liked going to the dentist, but at least her dentist was gentle. Before she could turn the corner to the office, someone came from behind, knocking her out. When she woke up, she realized she wasn't at her dentist's building, and there was blood everywhere. Lizzie tried to run, but she was strapped to a chair that was bolted to the floor. As she struggled to get free, she heard someone screaming from the next room. She also heard the sound of a drill. When the drill stopped, Lizzie heard a woman who said, "Well, that's it for drilling trivia. I'll be back with some fish hook and string, and we'll play tooth puller." Lizzie could hear the person crying as she heard the footsteps of the woman as she left. Lizzie struggled with the chair for 5 minutes until she heard the woman walk back into the other room. As Lizzie continued to struggle, she could hear the victim screaming. Then she heard the woman laugh as she said, "Oh, come on, Inslee. Did you really think you and the other Democrat morons wouldn't be punished for all the trouble you caused? Well, think again. Time to play tooth puller." Each time Lizzie heard a scream, she knew a tooth had been pulled. Once the screaming stopped, Lizzie knew the woman ran out of teeth to pull and killed the man. The woman laughed and said, "I guess his body couldn't handle all those rotten teeth of his." When she heard the woman leave with the body, Lizzie used her teeth to loosen the straps. When the straps were loose enough, she sat there and pretended she was still strapped. When the woman came into Lizzie's exam room, she didn't know or notice the straps were loose. She walked up to Lizzie and said, "Welcome. You must be Lizzie. I'm Dr. Toothache. Don't worry, you'll find out why I call myself that soon enough." When Dr. Toothache turned to grab a tool, Lizzie freed her hand. The doctor turned around holding a tooth drill. As the doctor got close enough, Lizzie hit her with a broken down x-ray machine. Dr. Toothache was knocked out and dropped the drill, and Lizzie ran off. Once Dr. Toothache woke up, She angrily began searching for Lizzie, while Lizzie looked for something to use as a weapon and a way out. Lizzie went into the first exam room she saw and found needles, drills, and all other sorts of dental tools. She found a bag and packed every single tool she could find, then ran out of the room. Lizzie ran down the hall. As Lizzie ran down the hall, she could hear muffling crying coming from one of the exam rooms. So Lizzie went up to each door and listened for any crying. She finally found the room and went inside. When she got in, she heard muffled crying and saw movement under a white sheet. She slowly lifted the sheet and found a 6-year-old girl strapped to a chair underneath with a bloody mouth. Dr. Toothache angrily searched all the rooms. Lizzie took the gag off the girl and unstrapped her. Once the girl was free, Lizzie asked, "May I take a look at your mouth? I promise I won't hurt you. I just want to see what the bad lady did to you." The girl slowly opened her mouth, and a few teeth were missing. The girl began to cry again, and Lizzie said, "No need to cry. I'll get you out of here. I won't let her hurt you again. Come on, let's go." When Lizzie and the girl ran into another exam room, Lizzie said, "My name is Lizzie. What's your name, little girl?" The girl smiled a little and said, "Carla. Hi, Lizzie." They heard a loud crash and they figured it was Dr. Toothache, so they quickly set up some traps and hid in the closet. While they remained hidden, Dr. Toothache came in and started looking for them. Dr. Toothache tossed everything around the room. She was so angry that she didn't notice the tripwire and tripped and fell into a pit of needles that Lizzie made from the crumbling floor. As she struggled to get out of the pit, Lizzie and Carla came up, and Lizzie said, "Look, Carla, it's the human pincushion." Carla laughed as they ran off. Once Dr. Toothache got out of the pit, she angrily pulled out all the needles that were sticking in her body. When Lizzie and Carla hid in another room, Carla asked, "Will my missing teeth grow back?" Lizzie smiled and said, "Yeah, of course they will. Those missing teeth are just baby teeth." Carla was happy when she heard that. The two of them looked around for any tools they could use in their new trap. As they looked around, Lizzie remembered she had some pepper spray and hid behind the door and started making noise. Dr. Toothache heard all the noise and followed it to the room. She went inside, and Lizzie sprayed her with pepper spray and blinded the doctor. While Dr. Toothache was crying from the spray, Carla ran up and said, "Come on, you're a big girl. Big girls don't cry." Lizzie laughed at what Carla said and took off. While the doctor's eyes burned, Lizzie and Carla constructed the building into a maze with all sorts of traps. Once Dr. Toothache's eyes stopped burning, she began looking again. She turned a corner, and hanging tooth scrapers caught her. They were stuck on her face and ears. She tore them off and threw them in anger. As she looked around she said, "You want me to play your little maze? Fine! When I find you, you'll end up on a liquid diet." As she continued through the tooth scrapers, Lizzie and Carla came out, and Lizzie said, "Look, Carla, we caught our first fish, the crazy big mouth dental fish. Too bad we can't throw it back." Lizzie and Carla laughed as they ran off. Dr. Toothache got through, but she had cuts all over. When she turned another corner, she saw that the floor was covered in sandpaper and barbed wire everywhere. So she had no choice but to army crawl on the sandpaper floor. As she crawled, she felt the sandpaper scraping her arms and stomach. She was almost out when she crawled and fell into a pit of rubbing alcohol. As the alcohol stung her body, Lizzie came out and said, "Ooh, that has to hurt. I felt that sting from up here." Lizzie ran off as Dr. Toothache got out of the pit. Carla came out of her hiding place when she saw Lizzie, and they ran to the next trap. Dr. Toothache angrily rounded the next corner, and Lizzie knocked her out again. When Dr. Toothache woke up, she realized she was strapped to a chair. As she struggled to get free, Lizzie and Carla came in, and as Lizzie turned on the tooth drill, she said, "Now it's your turn to play tooth drilling trivia." Carla enjoyed watching Dr. Toothache getting her teeth drilled. Dr. Toothache started crying, and Lizzie said, "What? You started this game? Now you don't want to play anymore?" Lizzie turned the drill off, slapped Dr. Toothache, and said, "Then you can just sit here, make like a tooth, and rot." Then Lizzie and Carla headed out of the building, leaving Dr. Toothache screaming and pleading. When they got to the police station, they told the policeman what happened. He agreed to check it out and call Carla's parents to pick her up. Lizzie waved goodbye to Carla and called her real dentist to explain what happened. As she talked to the dentist, she heard the dentist scream along with a tooth drill. She heard someone else on the line, and she knew it was Dr. Toothache as she said, "I'm your dentist now, Lizzie." Well, hope you guys like that story. Remember to subscribe or follow and spread the word about these stories. And until next time, unpleasant dreams.